Right, continuing from the last episode, touched on input now, so hopefully you're fully aware on how to do all your input stuff. I did that first because it's probably the most important thing for getting started. Second thing is now you're probably wondering, right, so I can shoot, but this projectile based thing is probably not what I'm looking for some. So if you're going for like a really fast fire rate, should we say, it's kind of not sometimes what you want. So there's the raycasting, which is the thing, which instead of this projectile shenanigans, we can literally just shoot an invisible line in a straight line, so it doesn't lose its, height or whatever. So you can shoot with a line and then not need this projectile stuff. So to get this working, what I'm going to do is we'll keep the on fire function, just for a sec for the reference. But we'll make our own raycast. So here, right above it, this has multiple uses. This is not only used for shooting. Like, I'm doing a 2D game right now and I'm using it to check for like grounded sort of deal. But not, there's a built-in grounded thing, so it's more for, I'm using it to check if you hit a specific part of something. Yeah, let's not go into too much detail there. Raycast. Did I give it a capital C? Nope. Right, so basically it's actually not that hard. Right, so you're going to need a few things. Here, right, actually no, we do want this. So this is the sound and the animation that gets played if you shoot. Honestly, I would do this whole function a bit differently, because if your class was null, you'd still try and shoot without shooting, which would be a bit dodgy. Okay, so, right, Raycast, what you need is a hit result. F hit result. Call it hit result. You need a start vector, which is 9 times out of 10 always going to come from here, unless you're doing a different game altogether. So your camera, get the camera's location. Next, you need a forward vector reference, which yet again is directly forward from the center of your screen, which is what you want, unless you don't want that, of course. End vector, which is the beginning, so the origin, say, start vector, plus forward vector times by a length, which we haven't specified yet. We're going to specify him right now. Make this massive, so 5k is always enough. That's what everyone uses, I'm pretty sure. The go-to length. Ray length, right. Now you need some collision query params. And CQP because it's a long name. And then you can do add ignored actor, so you can't raycast yourself. And there's a bunch of other things you can do in there, but that's generally what I usually do it for. Now you can get a reference to the world. So that stores the current reference into a variable. This is because you have play and editor, which is what I'm doing right now, and then you have your package build, which is when you package it, you have an exe that you can give to people, right? In play and editor, there's technically 2 worlds, so you want to make sure you're only getting the one you're in. Check that's not null. It's not really relevant for much things as far as it only is relevant when you're doing like actor iterations on the world, because then you'll be getting twice as many things as what you want. Which is just like a play and editor side thing, but still, it's kind of annoying as hell. So this is how I do anything world related. Right, doing this because the function we're looking for is on the world. It also might be hidden here, I'm not sure, let's just have a look. It's not on this one, might be in the Kismet. sure about these. I've never used it from here, but there seems to exist somewhat. Not the same name exactly, but what we're going for is line trace single by channel because we want it to only hit the first thing it hits and then boop, stop. So now you pass in your hit result, your start vector, your end vector. Now this is a channel which you're raycasting through, so the de facto one is visibility. However, I made, like, you can make your own. So in, like I said, in my 2D game, I'm doing it on game engine trace channel 1 or something, which is a custom channel, the first custom channel that you make to check for only specific. So it's basically the toggling in and out what the Raycast can hit, essentially. So in my other one, I'm telling it to only hit a certain channel. This one, it's hitting the visibility channel, which most things block by default. I think the capsule component ignores it. So for a Raycast to be able to hit a person, you'll have to make sure that the capsule component collision or whatever can block visibility. Otherwise, it will just go through it and you won't register the hit. Just whatever you side manage that. And now you want to put this around an if statement because it returns a bool. So if the Raycast was successful in hitting something, do stuff, but draw debug line, draw debug line. Now this is pretty much taking identical parameters. Yeah? So world, start vector, end vector, f color, red, and persist. Right, so that's just so we can see it. And now in here we want to do if hit result dot get actor is something. So if you hit something, for the time being we're just going to kill it because that's the generic what you do when you hit something. Right. Okay, so that should technically work as is. The only other thing I would recommend doing is you want to play the sound and animation only. Do you want to play it only if you hit? We'll play the animate. Right, you know what we'll do? We'll play the animation all the time, but you'll only make the sound if you hit something. You can honestly fine tune this. Do whatever you want here, but I'm just trolling. Just emphasizing that where you put some of this stuff will influence how, fluid your gameplay sounds like. Because if you do the animation and nothing gets hit or whatever, it feels a bit weird. If you play the sound and you don't even shoot, that also feels a bit weird. So just be aware of where you do things, and it also depends on what sound gets played. Because this one's a shooting sound, so this won't make much sense actually, but you get the picture. Anyway, that technically should work. So yeah, just word warning, you can do anything here. So you can do hit result get actor, you can do hit result actor tag, compare tag, you can do class, if hit result get component class, whatever is equal to some static class. You can do any kind of check here. So as long as it accepts this visibility channel and meets your condition, which is the actor exists currently, that's always the one you want. You want that one first and then add any more conditions underneath. Reason is, hit result to get is not null, so I'm using that here. So if it was null, it would crash on that line because you'd be destroying a null pointer, and destroying a null pointer is bad, very bad. And this is important because things can go null unintentionally. So Raycast. The only thing left to do is to change. Oh no, we've done that. Okay, that was good. That was good to go. Okay. That's essentially Raycast in a nutshell. Pretty easy. Just a little paragraph of variables, hit result, some vectors, some collision query parameters, and then you just need to remember it's the functions on the world, line trace, and then it'll pop up. Put in literally all those parameters, and then do what you want, really. Pretty simple, I think. I mean, at first it was hard to remember, but because Unreal's like leaning more towards shooting games, right? Yeah, there you go. These debug lines are just so you can see it. You'd take them out in a real game. But yeah, and notice how it doesn't update lighting on the fly. It's kind of bad, isn't it? But yeah, this is pretty much how it goes. Can I just write text? Nope. So yeah, raycasting. That's pretty much all I wanted to show. I'll probably do another video on a different style of raycasting. Yeah, I'll do that next. Alright. In a bit.